2 variety packs in one night. That's 8 beers. Are you insane? Yes, but this is hardly the craziest thing I've done. Check out any of my videos with the number 12 in the title, Beer Camp in the title. By all means, take a look at the epic fail that was the 99 Brands Party Bucket video. Anyway, but yes, folks, I am the Mighty Plantain. Thanks for checking out this video, and we are doing this fresh on the heels of the VooDoo Ranger Action Pack. We're checking out Sam Adams' Beers of Summer for 2024. The variety pack includes Summer Ale, Cherry Wheat, Pool Party IPA, which is new. Actually, it's Pool Party and IPA? Yes. Pool Party every day. Extra hazy. Yeah. Pool Party Pale Ale. Citrusy Hazy Pale Ale, not an India Pale Ale, whatever. And then Porch Rocker, a returning favorite. So Pool Party is the first new one, the only new one in this pack, and there is no Boston Lager, which is just fucking fine since they ruined that. Now, oddly enough, we're going to do Summer Ale first, of course, but we are not doing Cherry Wheat second. Turns out Cherry Wheat has 23 IBUs, and Porch Rocker only 8. Summer Ale is also 8. So I'm going to give you my spiel here. If you're looking to not get completely plowed, you want to go from your higher ABV to your lower ABV beers as you go through the night. Now, when you're looking for tasting, you want to go from your lower IBUs to your higher IBUs because nothing wrecks the palate faster than hoppy beers. Now, in this particular case, I don't think any of these are going to be that hoppy that they're going to wreck your palate. I mean, 30, I think, was the highest I mentioned there with Pool Party, so not that crazy. But still, I'm surprised Cherry Wheat comes in at 23 and Porch Rocker only 8, because I always imagined Porch Rocker had a little bit of hoppy bitterness to it, but it's more of a rattler, I think. Yeah, so I'm thinking of something else, not Porch Rocker. Maybe it's Cold Snap that's got the hoppiness to it. But anyway, as the order we're doing them in, we're going to start with Sam Adams Summer Ale. And yes, I know it's in cans. It's hard to find these in bottles all the time these days. And I suspect that's more so the case with the Summer Pack than anything else because everybody's taking the Summer Pack on the road. And you can't take bottles to as many places as you can cans. Can. Summer Ale. Now this, of course, is the Summer Ale that was reformulated a few years ago to make it, I think, lighter, crisper, and yet hazier and citrusier. That is definitely hazy and slightly effervescent. There's a decent number of bubbles coming up from the bottom of that glass. And it's very, very pale. Pale, yet hazy. Nice pale yellow color. It remains pale yellow even after we take the spotlight off. Just a light, beery aroma with a hint of citrus underneath, but nothing too crazy or powerful. Light, airy beer. And as expected, a very nice, light mouthfeel, smooth, easy drinking, with a citrusy bite and a crisp and refreshing finish. Very clear and crisp finish. It's one of those perfect summer beers. A hot day, this is going to cool you down, and the fact that it's so easy to drink. Makes it a very refreshing beverage. When mowing the lawn, hanging out poolside, or even just sitting around in the hot sun on your back lawn. Nice summer campfire beer as well. Well, pretty much any beer could be a nice campfire beer any time of the year, but that's a whole another thing. Anyway, Sam Adams Summer Ale. Tonight I'm hitting it with a 4 out of 5. On the scale of 1 to 5, 2.5 is average. I think it usually comes in around a 3.5 for me. I don't know, maybe more. Because I'm usually drinking it during the summer and I'm usually feeling it pretty good. So there's nothing like mind-boggling or, you know, impressive about the flavor. It's just the fact that it is such a smooth, easy to drink, well-rounded, perfect summer beer. The fact that it blends in the background of having so many other perfect summer beers out there is why it's getting the 4 and not any higher rating. This doesn't really... It used to stand out from the crowd, but now it doesn't. Anyway, that's where I'm at on the summer ale. We're going to finish this up. We're going to grab a Porch Rocker. Porch Rocker! Yeah, that didn't come out so well. Porch Rocker is next. This is a Lemon Radler, 4.5% ABV and 8 IBUs. It's a lager with natural flavors and lemon puree added. Typically, the Radler style is a blend of beer and lemonade, giving it a nice citrusy bite. So, looks like they just went and added lemon puree instead of actual lemonade. Whatever. Still works. It does the same thing. Porch Rocker. This is one of the ones that came out as a new beer, and I think the summer pack a few years back, and it just took off to the point where you can get this in 6-packs, and it's in practically every summer pack that's come out since. I don't know, maybe it took a year or two off, but I don't think it did. I think it came right back the very next year and was in 6-packs still. Very clear beer. Look at that. The look of Porch Rocker reminds me of the original Sam Adams Summer Ale. But it's definitely got a different flavor. But it has that nice, clear, maybe a little bit of haze to it, but not much at all. But a very, very clear, yellowish beer that actually doesn't get darker by very much, where the beer gets thicker higher up on the glass. And sometimes you see that with the darker beers or the heavier beers. The color gets darker where you have a higher volume of beer, if that makes any sense. It is a lovely looking beer. It also has a very crisp, refreshing aroma with a deeper citrus aroma than the summer ale. Not that I'm comparing one to the other, just for point of reference. Yes, a distinct citrusy aroma. I mean, there's lemon puree in it. How do you not get that? But yeah, still just a very crisp, clear, clean aroma. Very light mouthfeel. The first thing that hits your tongue is that little bit of citrus, that lemony freshness. Hang on. I don't want it to sound too like a furniture polish or something. With that little hint of lemon hits the tip of your tongue, and then it hits your lips, and then it just kind of fades away and gives way to this slightly sweet, light, grainy flavor. I mean, these aren't very complex beers. There's not a whole lot to unpack here. They're just plain decent and good. And you know what? On a hot summer day, that's kind of what you want. You want a beer that drinks easy, goes down fast, and helps to rehydrate you, or at least quench your thirst. Which is why I'm surprised Sam Adams hasn't done like a beer with some form of salt in it. Not to go too far off into the weeds here, but there are beers that are starting to incorporate various forms of salt, just a hint of it, to add some of that thirst quenching. And believe it or not, salt in certain amounts, talk to the folks at Gatorade, with their sodium content, does actually help to rehydrate you, because salt plus electrolytes actually helps your body hold on to the water that you're putting in. You read about these people who overhydrate. There's actually another clinical term for it, but they're literally saturated. They're overhydrating with water, and there's nothing else to balance it out, so it's causing them all kinds of health issues because they're just drinking too much plain old fucking water. Doesn't seem to be happening these days, but it was at one point anyway. My point being that I'm surprised that Sam Adams hasn't put out a beer that somehow incorporates some form of salt, because there's at least 2 or 3 beers I can think of off the top of my head that include a salt, and they literally have a strong thirst quenching property. The thirst quenching properties of beer are illusory at best. You still need to drink water. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. You know, I'm surprised Sam Adams hasn't innovated and done their own take on it. In the meantime, though, Porch Rocker is a great summer beer. Very citrusy, nice light graininess to it, hint of sweetness in between. Just spectacular, easy drinking, going down fast, like water. Anyway, hitting it tonight. I'm going to hit it with a 4 and a 5. I'm feeling it. I'm loving it. I'm liking it. Just again, there's nothing mind-blowing or unique or different or crazy about it. Now, back in the day, the Radler style was mind-blowing and unique and different because people hadn't had it. But now there's just plenty of them out there. So, yeah, 4 out of 5. Sitting pretty with that. We're going to finish this one up, and we're going to move on to cherry wheat. I don't think we've seen cherry wheat in a little while. All right, cherry wheat. Fuck you, cherry wheat. One of my ex-wife's favorite beers. Not fuck you. And she did have good taste sometimes. She married me initially anyway, right? So, matter of fact, I think the last time I saw cherry wheat was the year she divorced me. Coincidence? Most likely. But anyway, it has been a little while since we've seen cherry wheat, if I remember correctly. Wheat ale brewed with Michigan cherries. I also don't recall them specifically calling out Michigan as the source of their cherries before. But cherry wheat, I almost think that this was more of a fall or summer beer at one point for them, because it would make very regular appearances in their different lineups, and even in 6-packs by itself. As a matter of fact, the last time I remember seeing it, it was in 6-packs by itself. And I think it slowly shifted towards being a summer beer. I could be remembering that completely wrong, though. So, hit me up down in the comments or the email link down there if you remember it differently. Or if you agree with me, just back me up. Tell me I'm not fucking insane. Well, that I'm less insane than I thought I was. Anyway, cherry wheat. At least been a hot minute since we've seen it. $23 IBUs. I mean, I guess I'm somewhat surprised by that. Now, the question is, are those IBUs, is it imparted by hops? Wheat ale brewed with real cherries with honey and natural flavors added. So there's probably, like any beer, there's probably some hops in there, but I just didn't think it would be enough to push it up to 23. 23 is not an incredible amount of IBU, but it's still more than you would expect from a cherry wheat beer. So maybe some of it's from the other ingredients. I'm going to stop talking about that. It is more hazy than I remember. I thought it was clearer than that. I also thought it had a slightly reddish tinge, maybe, but and again, it's been a little while. Slightly hazy, slightly effervescent. I'd say it's more than slightly hazy, actually. That's pretty moderately hazy. It's got a nice golden yellow color that fades to a golden orange up top. Or darkens, not fades. Whatever. It's going to be a fun night. I've only got one more beer to get through on camera, and then I'm probably going to play around with a product review, and then we'll see where the night takes us. Slightly fruity aroma with a nice grainy, the wheat. See, I don't know if you can necessarily smell wheat and differentiate it from other grains. Some people say you can, but it does have a nice light grainy aroma versus a heavier, darker, roasty grain aroma. And wheat is a little bit distinctive, maybe a little, but definitely fruity there. Maybe a hint of bitterness. Cherries are bitter. I doubt there's enough bitterness in cherries to impart international bitterness units, but it's a measure of bitterness, not necessarily a measure of hop content. So, anyway. Yep, weedy, cherry-y. So a nice light mouthfeel. It has been a while since I had this because I forgot what it tasted like. Now, the old expression, don't fruit the beer, because fruit and beer ruins it, but different breweries have made that formula work, fruit plus beer, over the years, and there's a lot of newer fruited beers that are better than they used to be. Cherry wheat is like this perfect combo of cherries and wheat. Burp. Pardon. Up front, I'm getting the light graininess of the wheat. And then the second it rolls off the back of my tongue and down my throat, the cherry, there's like a burst of cherry flavor, but it's not overpowering or drowning out the wheat. It's like the graininess perfectly blends with this slightly bitter yet overly sweet fruitiness of the cherries, and then it comes back to the graininess of the wheat again. It's the flavor evolves as it rolls off your tongue, and everything's kind of perfectly blended together. Really feeling the summer beers tonight. It's not actually that warm yet. It's only about like 73, 74 degrees in here. AC hasn't kicked on. Of course, I turned the thermostat off because if the AC kicks on, you won't be able to hear shit I'm saying. You'll just be able to hear. I just realized I am feeling this more than I thought I was. Anyway, point is, it's not like sweating out your ass warm. It's not swamp ass warm yet. And yet I'm still feeling the summer beers a little more strongly than I should. Not just in terms of the alcohol. I'm talking like I'm really in the mood for summer beers. So all that means I'm hitting this with a 4 out of 5. So far, pretty consistent on this pack. Anyway, 4 out of 5 on the cherry wheat. I'm going to finish this up, and we're going to move on to the last one, which is the Pool Party Pale Ale. Not India Pale Ale or IPA, but a hazy Pale Ale. Pardon. Those first 3 and the 4 before them are coming back all together. As long as it's gas and not liquid, right? Same thing I say about my ass. That was too much. Anyway, pool party's next. All right, and last but not least is Pool Party, and it is the first and only new beer in this pack. And I know because it says new right there. Pool Party. I'm going to go ahead and read the description on this one because I'm not sure what to expect. This hazy golden ale features a splash of tropical fruit notes, medium hoppiness, and a smooth, refreshing finish that says, "Come on in, the beer's fine." That makes it sound like you filled the pool with beer, which is a good idea, but I don't know how buoyant beer is compared to water. Actually, I suspect beer would be more buoyant than water, unless you're talking about salt water, which is more buoyant than... I keep saying buoyant. Anyway, salt water is closer to our natural chemistry, which means that we float better in salt water than we do fresh water. So I suspect we would probably float better in beer than we do fresh water, but I don't know. Especially chlorinated and over chemically saturated fresh water. A little aggressive on that pour, but you know what? We'll just try to salvage this. I'm pretty sure the camera battery is getting low, and we gotta hurry this along because I don't really want to have to stop halfway through this beer to charge the goddamn battery. Yeah, I'm down to one battery. I used to have a spare so I could just swap them out, but the old battery started swelling up inside the camera. And the last time that happened, I had to replace the whole goddamn GoPro because the battery was swollen enough that I couldn't pull it out. You guys don't need to know that, but I just said it anyway. Fuck it. This is what we're doing. We're going to wait for this to settle down while we finish up the beer review, and then I'll pour the rest in. Very, very hazy, yet very light in color. It's almost like a fresh squeezed lemonade or grapefruit juice. Not pink grapefruit juice, that everybody is used to, but like old-fashioned style grapefruit juice before they started making it fucking pink. Anyway, very, very hazy. Like cloudy hazy, not particulate hazy. I can't even tell if it's effervescent. It's almost milky. It's so hazy, it's milky looking. Milky in appearance. I don't expect they put much milk actually in here, or any at all. Nice pale yellow. It's actually a lovely looking beer, which is why I spent so much time talking about the look of it. Maybe more, maybe less than the others, but anyway. Doesn't have much of an aroma. Maybe the light, bitter, almost citrusy. No. Coconut. I'm getting coconut. They did say tropical. Fuck. I left Netflix on pause long enough that the PlayStation 4 has kicked on. Or maybe it's the 5. I can't tell. It's probably the 5. It was the last one I used. I gotta look at my HDMI settings and figure out why the fuck the game system powers on automatically when anything else times out. But hopefully the background noise isn't distracting you too much. I know that it comes through on the microphone. Hey, remember the Terramana Reposado tequila review? The Rock tequila? When my buddy Ben came by, and I completely forgot to mute the fucking TV, so there's a whole episode of American Dad playing in the background, and he even said, hey, is there anything you need to do before we start filming? No, I'm good. Well, I'm drunk and distracted and fucking... So, background noise. Anyway. Wow. That was... I told you. Deep into the cups, and I am fucking rambling tonight. Anyway. Coconutty, tropically. There is maybe a hint of mango or other tropical fruit underneath that. It's got a bit of a medium mouthfeel, so it's a little heavier than these others, which all have had a light mouthfeel. I don't know if I mentioned that on the cherry wheat, but man, the head on this is extremely foamy. All heads are foamy on beers. If you get a foamy head, different problem. Anyway, that's probably time to go see your doctor and get some antibiotics if that's the case. But this is a foamier head than what we've seen on the other beers. The other beers have had like a crisper, cleaner bubble style head. These are like little itty bitty tiny bubbles that look like sea foam. Perfect commentary on summer and tropical shit. But anyway, a bit of a medium to medium light mouthfeel. Up front, nice burst of hops. I'm not resolving in any specific flavors, just a nice hoppy bitterness. And then that tropical kicks in. I'm distinctly getting coconut, as well as a tropical fruit vibe, and maybe a hint of an earthy finish. Doesn't make me think of a pool, it makes me think of a fucking beach. Maybe the pool at a seaside resort, but I don't know. I don't know if I would have called it pool party, but hey, that's why I don't work for Sam Adams Marketing. If I did, I wouldn't have fucked up Boston Lager. Fuck you guys. But anyway, pool party is probably a misnomer. I would think of this as more of a fucking beachy beer than a pool beer. Well, what the fuck do I know? I don't work for Sam Adams Marketing because I didn't fuck up Boston Lager. Anyway, I'm hitting pool party with a 4 out of 5 as well. You know what? I'm going to give it a 4.5. I'm going to give it a 4.5 because despite the naming being off for me, it's still giving me that nice tropical beachy vibe. And I've had some tropical beachy beers recently, but none that worked quite as well as this one. It's smooth, easy to drink. It's lower in ABV than those other tropical beers. The others were like twice this. This one sits at 5%, 5.5%. The others are like 9 and 10. Those beers will fucking kick your ass fast. But I think Pool Party would be a nice nice one to cruise the whole day on. Whew, pardon. I don't know. Throw a fucking bag of sand on the deck, put your feet in it, send her to the beach umbrella, and listen to Jimmy Buffett next to the pool. Then Pool Party would be perfect. Otherwise, take it to the beach with you, not the pool. It's my only criticism. Otherwise, yeah, 4.5 out of 5. Anyway, it's just my opinion on the Sam Adams Beers of Summer Variety Pack for 2024. We got 3 4s and a 4.5. That's a pretty decent lineup for a summer pack, honestly. I usually rate the summer beers lower because I'm not as into the summer beers as I am into the heavier fall and winter beers. In the spring beers, all right. But yeah, I'm thrilled. I love the beers of summer, especially the fact that they have fireworks on the pack. Although fireworks and beer don't mix. Don't ever fucking do both at the same time, folks. Trust me. I used to have hair. Oh, I'm kidding. I've never mixed fireworks and beer. It's just a bad fucking idea. It's just like mixing guns and beer. Don't do that either. But, Jesus Christ. Let me get off the soapbox and wrap this up. That's my opinion. Hit me up down below in the comments or the email link. Love to hear what you have to say about the Sam Adams Beers of Summer Variety Pack as a whole or the individual beers, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Still want to hear from you. Let's talk. The beer taste is subjective and it's different for everybody, and sometimes it's different from day to day. Like I said, I don't think I've rated these beers exactly the same every time I've had them. While you're down there, don't forget to like and share the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, folks, enjoy your summer. Cheers.